Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My dear students, in today's secretarial practice lecture, we are going to see features of secretary. In previous lecture, we have already seen the origin, meaning and definition of secretary. Let's begin with the features of secretary. See, what do you mean by features? Features are nothing but it's an interesting or important part about something. If I say what are the features of secretary, so that means I'm going to talk about the qualities, the other important characteristics of secretary. Interesting and important part about something, that is something interesting and some important part about secretary. So yes, today we are going to see all the special qualities and characteristics of secretary. See here, there are 8 features given, beginning with an individual, duties, qualification, appointment, paid employee, confidential officer, representative, and then qualities. Let's try to understand each and all feature in detail. The very first one is individual. Only an individual alone can be appointed as a secretary. Okay, it clearly states that an individual, a person, can be appointed as a secretary and not a firm, an institution, or a corporate body. Let's say if I'm running a business, I'm running a company, I cannot appoint any other company to be my secretary. I can appoint an XYZ person, an individual, to be my secretary. It's clearly stated that an individual alone, a person, can be appointed as secretary and not a firm or any corporate body or the institution. Now, this thing is mentioned in the provisions, and there are certain other requirements which states that only an individual can be appointed as secretary. See, a secretary has to be an individual as per the provisions of the company law. Now, what are provisions? Provisions are nothing but an action. It's an action of providing or supplying some information. So here, the company law has certain provisions, has supplied some information where it states that only an individual can be appointed as secretary, and also due to the skills required to fulfill the duties and responsibilities towards the employers. Now there are certain other skills required from an employer that can be fulfilled only by a person or an individual. So the first most important feature of a secretary is a secretary has to be an individual person. Coming to the second, duties. Now, what are the duties which a secretary is going to perform? A secretary has to perform routine and administrative duties. Now, what do you mean by routine? Routine is nothing but regular and administrative duties. Administrative means managerial duties, or I can say supervising duties. In routine and administrative duties, that is in regular and supervising duties, comes correspondence, communication in writing, then conducting meetings, arranging meetings, maintaining records, keeping records, writing it properly, keeping in a proper file, and then comes the last one, providing those information. Providing information whenever required. So these are nothing but the routine and administrative duties. Apart from this, secretary has to fulfill day-to-day routine duties related towards the employer or organization. Now, day-to-day routines, what are the works which are done on a daily basis, on a day-to-day basis? The very first one comes as clerical work. Clerical work means any office or desk work, or I can say typing work. You must have seen a person sitting on a reception, attending the phone calls, trying to maintain all the records, dealing with the people. These are the certain clerical works. Then comes recording. Okay, recording, that is keeping the information properly, trying to record it, trying to write it properly. Then you have got fixing appointments, giving reminders, and lastly, replying to other employees' queries, doubts. What are the queries? What are the doubts? If any other employee in an organization has got certain doubts, this can be clarified while having a talk with a secretary. It's a duty of a secretary to clarify all the doubts, that is queries. Now see, these are the duties which are day-to-day duties, and then we have seen routine and administrative duties. Now these duties depends upon the nature of work of the organization. Now it varies according to the nature of work. If you have got a company when there are a lot of employees and a lot of persons being there, a lot of correspondence will be required, clerical work will be more. So yes, it depends upon the nature of work. Now, in recent times, secretary has to ensure legal compliance. The other most important duty of a secretary is, nowadays, secretary has to ensure legal compliance. What do you mean by ensure? Ensure means to check, okay, to make sure or to check. Now, coming to the other part is legal compliance. Legal compliance is nothing but a process or procedure to ensure, that is to check that an organization has followed all the rules, regulations and laws in a company. That means secretary has to make sure that all the proper rules and regulations and then laws are followed in an organization. So here we come to an end with the duties parts. We have seen the duty, the routine duty, administrative duty, day-to-day routine duties, and lastly, secretary has to ensure legal compliances. Coming to the third one, you have got qualification. See, every secretary must possess certain qualifications as per the organization. Now, if a company secretary of a public or private limited company needs to have qualification according to the Companies Act 2013. If an individual wants to be a company secretary of public or private limited company, he has to possess qualification prescribed by the Companies Act 2013. One example here is an individual, that individual should be a member of Institute of Company Secretary of India. We have seen this in the definition, right? Now, coming to the other part where a person wants to be a secretary of government department. If any XYZ person, an individual wants to be a secretary of government department, the qualifications required will be according to the government rules and regulations. Whatever the rules and the regulations that has been prescribed by the government, those qualification is required to be a secretary of government department. Coming to the fourth point, we have got appointment. Now, who appoints secretary? Right? This is the most important part. I would say that who appoints a secretary? A secretary can be appointed by individuals, professionals, society, corporation, government, public organization and joint stock companies. So you can see the bifurcation with the two colors. First of all, individuals and professionals. Let's clear this out. Individuals is nothing but a person. Individual will include all the person like you, me, the other general public, a businessman or whosoever, but an individual can appoint secretary. If I want to appoint someone to manage my task, to manage my business, I can appoint a secretary. That comes, we clear with the part as individuals. Coming to the professionals, now who are professionals? Okay, professionals are nothing but a person who earns their living, okay, who works, who earns their living which require certain special degrees, that is educational qualification, skills and trainings. Examples of professionals are, you can say, teacher, engineer, lawyer, doctors. These are certain persons who comes under professionals. So yes, even professionals can appoint secretary. Now coming to the other half, that is society, corporation, government, public organization and joint stock company. Now society here means a club, or I can say a group of people coming together for the benefit of the society, right? See, we have seen, or you must have seen, KMES societies. Now KMES is nothing but an institution, but along with it, it's a society which works for the welfare of this society. Now this society is nothing but we general people. Then comes corporation. Corporation means any company, a firm, business organization. A secretary can be appointed by government as well. Then comes public organization, again public companies, and comes the last one, joint stock companies. In other words, a secretary can be personal or institutional secretary. When I say personal secretary, individuals and professionals will be included, and when I say institutional secretary, the secretary for society, corporation, government, public organization and joint stock companies will be included. Now the fifth one is paid employee. A secretary is paid employee of the organization. Now when I say paid employee of the organization means a secretary is given a salary or paid an honorarium. Now salary, you all know, a salary is a form of payment from an employer to an employee. An employer, a boss, will pay some amount, some fixed amount every month to an employee, that is considered as salary. But then what is honorarium? Honorarium is nothing but a fee or a payment given to a professional person. We have seen who are professionals. Professional persons for services rendered. Now honorarium is nothing but, it's, the value or the amount you give is a lump sum amount, and it's not at all a predetermined amount. When I say salary, it's always fixed. Every month the person is going to receive fixed amount. But if a secretary is paid through the means which is known as honorarium, that means it's a lump sum amount and it's not at all a predetermined amount. You don't decide in advance, you just pay a lump sum amount. So a salary or a lump sum amount is given to the secretary. Now although secretary is a paid employee, yet the secretary holds an important position in the organization. Though a secretary is an employee, but secretary holds a very important position in an organization. As you all have seen, secretary is the one who has to comply with the legal compliances, who has to see whether all the legal compliances has been done. Secondly, all the administrative functions, day-to-day routine functions. So yes, I can say secretary holds an important position in the organization. Now coming to the confidential officer. Okay, confidential officer. The word confidential means private, right? Something which is very private. A secretary is a custodian. What do you mean by the word custodian? Custodian is nothing but a person who has responsibility of taking care of or protecting something. When I say the XYZ person is the custodian, that means that XYZ person has got the responsibility to take care or to protect something. So I can say a secretary is a custodian of secret and confidential information of the organization. Now see, there are certain important papers, certain important informations regarding an organization. So all those papers, the information, the confidential files, all those things are there kept safe with the custodian, that is secretary. It's kept with the secretary, assuming that a secretary is going to take care of those secret and confidential informations. See, secretary is closely connected to the top management and can be involved in policy decisions. Now, secretary holding an important place in an organization is also connected to the top management and can be involved in policy decisions. Now, whatever decisions the company take, or the members, the top management members, whatever the decisions they take or the policy they frames, secretary is connected with them. So yes, I can say a secretary is a confidential officer. That means secretary is going to keep all those information secret and confidential, being a custodian. Coming to the seventh part, you have got representative. The seventh point is representative. Now, if I'm a secretary, to whom I'm going to represent? Now, in representative comes two, personal and institutional. See, we have seen in the previous, personal secretaries are appointed by individuals. If I am going to appoint, or if any professional is going to appoint a secretary, that secretary will represent the employer. Personal secretaries are appointed by individuals and represent their employers, that individual. Coming to the institutional secretary, institutional secretaries are appointed by societies, companies, government departments, and represent their organization. Now, if I have been appointed as a personal secretary, I'm going to represent that one particular person, that is my employer. But if I am appointed as a secretary of any of the government department or any of the companies, I'm going to represent the company itself. See here, it's an example of the both personal secretary and company secretary. Now coming to the last point is qualities. What are the qualities which a secretary possesses? A secretary should have certain qualities so as to conduct the secretarial duties smoothly. Now, when an individual, a human being, is appointed as a secretary, that particular individual should have certain qualities to carry out day-to-day routine and administrative business smoothly. So see, there are qualities given. The very first one is concentration. Okay, a secretary should have proper concentration on the work he or she is doing. The second is intelligence. Secretary should be very intelligent. Third is tact. What do I mean by tact? Tact is nothing but a skill to deal with other people, how you are going to tackle a situation or a person. Then comes loyalty. The secretary has to be loyal. Then cooperation. The secretary should be cooperative, should work, taking all the employees together, cooperating with them. Then comes leadership. A secretary should be a good leader. Then comes courtesy. What is courtesy? Courtesy is nothing but, being polite and having good manners when you are dealing with the company employees or any other person in a company. Then comes orderliness. Orderliness is a quality of being well arranged. So now when a secretary has got a lot of administrative works and then day-to-day routine works, so orderliness is a quality of being well arranged. So now here, secretary has to be so well arranged that all the works in an organization should be done on time. And the last one is knowledge seeker. See, knowledge seeker is a person who aims to acquire more and more knowledge. Or I can say a secretary should be a learner. That means every step, every other day a secretary should try to learn more and more things, should try to go ahead with the firm learning new things. These qualities assist in smooth and efficient working of the organization. Now, these qualities helps a person to work smoothly and work properly in an organization. With this, we come to an end with the features of secretary. In the coming next lecture, we are going to see the qualities and types of secretary. That's all for today, class. Thank you.